Is this thing on? Hello? Testing. One, two, three. I'm live. Wow. Hello to those who may be watching. I'm Scary Clammy Gary, and this is my domain. I am the newest PNG tuber in the sea of YouTube. I don't know. Well, here I am. This is. Sorry, I'm nervous. I don't know what to say. Is it? I'm a PNG tuber, and look at me. I'm a fish. I'm back. I'm sorry. I don't know why I had to breathe for a moment. I don't know why I'm so nervous. My, there's like no one even here right now. I'm making a big deal out of nothing. I don't know. This is the first time I've ever streamed live. Well, my bad. Well, maybe I should just start by telling you a little bit about myself. Hi, I am Scary Clammy Gary, and I am I'm a frilled shark. That's what kind of animal I am. I'm a frilled shark, and I'm just living in this. I'm under the sea, and you know what? Let me bring out my spreadsheet. Let's go sit down on the desk over here. All right, we're sitting down now. And I guess this is the part where I should tell you a bit about myself. Let's talk about my name first. Scary and Gary, they're pretty self-explanatory. I'm like a scary looking fish. Definitely scary. And like Gary's just like a nickname I've had for like a very long time now. My friends have always called me Gary, so that's why I'm named Gary. What does clammy mean though? You may be wondering that. What does clammy mean? And no, it's not supposed to mean like a clam. It's not a reference to clams. It is actually. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can screenshot this real quick and bring it on stream real quick. Snipping tool. Okay, now let me just add it here. Okay, I got it. All right. So Clammy is actually supposed to be short for this. Oh, it's really small. Short for this. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually don't really know how to pronounce this. Wait, can you guys even see it? You can, okay. Sorry. Yeah, let me like Chlamydos lacus. Yeah, I don't know. However you want to try and pronounce that, like, go for it. I think the H is silent though, but I don't know. I really, yeah, it's short for that. And what is this? This is the genus of which the frilled shark is from. So basically, I am Scary Frilled Shark Gary, but that doesn't have as much of a ring to it. And I also I wanted it to have a Y at the end of it, so you know it rhymes. Like Scary Clammy Gary, you know it kind of fits. And I didn't want to just be super lazy and just put a Y at the end of shark and have it Scary Sharky Gary. I don't know. I just thought that would have been a little lame. So I went with this as like the middle of my name. Let me get rid of this. I don't want to hear it. Bam. Okay, so that's my name. Now let me bring up my little about me section. I had like, you notice this is a very old, this is like an old pirate ship kind of place I'm living in here right now. And there's a bunch of leftover pirate maps in here that I just drew on and I used as like a little papers. So let me bring one up here. This is my first one here. Is that one? Which one? Aha, this one. Okay. Here we go. I'm just get to that. Anyway, that man, I should have brought this up sooner. Cause yeah, it has my name on there right there. But yeah, my name's Scary Clammy Gary, or if you want to call me Schlammy. My nickname is Gary. My main nickname is Gary, or you can call me Scary. That's fine too. Now, and yeah, I didn't scribble that out and put unk there. That's it's not true. Okay. Big. I'm not even like upset or annoyed about that. I'm just curious. Like I'm just weird. I'm living like 3,900 feet under the surface of the ocean. Bro was like a dog. Like, how did he get down here? How did he do this? It doesn't make any sense. How did you do that? Whatever. But you know what? We're moving past. You don't even look at it. It's irrelevant. Anyway, next is my birthday. It's on November 22nd. Yeah, you guys missed it. It was last month. Last month today, actually. But you know what? There's always next year. Maybe I'll stream for my birthday next year. If everyone's all here, we could celebrate my birthday next year. Next is my length. I'm 130 centimeters long. It's like 3'4". which is a perfectly average size for a frilled shark. Don't call me small. I'm not small. I have a perfectly natural size for a frilled shark. And anyway, here on the bottom, we have my creator, i.e. the person I commissioned to make this little PNG, and also the background, and pretty much everything you will see on this in the stream, except for this little paper. I did that. Risk Pond. Risk Pond is actually a really long time friend of mine, and I commissioned him to do this for me, and I think he did a great job. It's very cute. So yeah, go check him out. He's great. And he draws cool stuff, and he does commissions. Alright, next we're gonna move down to my likes, stuff I like. Tokusatsu. I'm a huge fan of Tokusatsu. If you're wondering what that is, that's basically giant monster stuff. So like big guys in suits, like old Japanese monster movies, like Godzilla basically. He's my favorite one. I freaking love Godzilla. Godzilla's like my favorite thing ever. I have been a fan of Godzilla ever since I was a little baby frilled shark. I love Godzilla. I've watched every single movie, every show. I own a ton of Godzilla figures too. But yeah, very big Godzilla fan. Certified. Next is Sonic the Hedgehog. I haven't really been a Sonic fan for nearly as long as I've been a Godzilla fan. I've only actually gotten into Sonic like after the first movie came out. Like I never really was interested in Sonic before then. But then I watched the movie and I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. You know what? I'll give this a shot. And then from there, it was all over. It was all over after that. Ever since, I've been like a super diehard Sonic fan. And and yeah, I've played a ton of the games. Yes, I love Sonic. Next is a VTuber. Yeah, I'm a degenerate. VTubers are like all I watch anymore. I really like them. I watch them a ton. Like Hololive, a ton of indies. Yes. Anyway, also nature. Yeah, I really love animals and nature and science. I love all that stuff, like a lot. And like you may be able to tell by the type of character I've chosen to be, but I specifically really love the ocean. Like I think the ocean's super cool and not actually scary at all. I know a lot of people are scared of the ocean. I'm not. I don't think it's scary at all. I just think it's super cool. And like I love all the like creepy creatures down the ocean, like the anglerfish, frilled shark, like the colossal squid. I think all those things are super cool. And like not even just the ocean either. I just love animals in general, nature. I think it's all so fascinating and so cool. Yeah, I'm a bit of a hippie. And then last is Italian food. I really like Italian food, like pizza, like noodles, pasta. Yeah, not much I'm gonna go into there, but yeah, that's definitely my favorite type of food. I like that food a lot. Anyway, next we're gonna go into my dislikes, which is the last. Oh, not the last. Never mind. Dislikes, stuff I don't like. Brain rot / slop. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think that stuff is I don't like it. It annoys me. There's some brain rot memes that I can find funny, but like a lot of them I just find annoying. Like 6-7, I hate that. I don't like it. It annoys me. And like content farms, that I hate it. I hate it all. I don't like it. I'm moving on. Technology, bro. I freaking hate technology, dude. Every time I want to do something that involves technology, I swear it has a problem with me. It just like I just recently got my new computer, or I recently got a new computer, and like for and the reason it took me so long, it took me a really long time to get my new computer, because for like years and years before this even, I've needed a new computer, but like I've been tasked with trying to find parts to build it with and put it together on PC Builder, all those websites. But I just don't understand what any of it means. I look at videos, I hear people explain them to me. I just don't know any. It's like you're speaking a whole other language to me. I don't get it. I don't understand PC stuff. And also like, not to mention all the times technology is like messed up on me, and I don't know how to fix it. I have a very caveman brain when it comes to technology. I am not an expert by any means. Anyway, next is Twitch, the platform. I don't really like it, honestly. I don't use Twitch. That's why I'm on YouTube. But like I heard like, oh, getting an audience on Twitch is way easier though. I just don't like Twitch. I don't like watching Twitch. I don't like people that run it. I don't know. I'm not a fan. I'm a bit of a hater. And that's like before all the stuff that happened recently at TwitchCon. And I know YouTube isn't perfect either. I don't know. I don't like Twitch, so that's why I'm here on YouTube. Anyway, next is reading to others. Yeah. I think I'm like a decent reader when I'm like reading in my head, but whenever like I'm reading out loud to others, like I'm playing, like if me and my friends are playing a game with a lot of dialogue, like like you guys know those like Monster Prom game, or like the games like those where there's a lot of dialogue that everyone does a voice in. I don't know. I just get very nervous every time I have to like read out loud, and every time I get something wrong, I don't know. It stresses me out. Anyway, and the last one down here is JRPGs. Now, let me explain a little bit. I don't necessarily hate JRPGs. I kind of just put that there. What I really hate is just when games have like turn-based combat. That's what I really dislike. I hate it when games have turn-based combat. I think it's a personal insult to me when a game has turn-based combat. I really strongly hate it, because it just feels so limiting. Like you can't move, you can only do like one action a turn. I just really don't like it. That's not to say that like any game that has turn-based combat is a bad game in my eyes. Like I can enjoy a game with turn-based combat, but like I don't know, it really has to step the ball up in like other ways. Like, oh, the gameplay is bad because it has what you call it, turn-based combat. Well, if it has really good music, really good story, then I can forgive that. You know? Yeah, like a good example is Pokemon Black and White. Like I'm not really a huge fan of a lot of the Pokemon games anymore, because the combat's just so boring. It's just so boring. I've been playing those games for like well over a decade, and I'm just so bored. But But that game has such a good story and such good music that I don't care. Like honestly, like he's definitely my favorite Pokemon game, Black and White. But I'll get to those in a bit, kind of. I mean, I'll get to my favorite games here in a bit, but it's not going to be on there. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I put JRPGs there, but I didn't think of a better term for just turn-based combat games. But yeah, that's what that's there for. Anyway, let's move on to hobbies that I have. Is that the end of it? Yeah, it's the end of it. Okay. Kind of what I do. My favorite hobbies are like watching movies and shows. I watch a lot of movies. Like any like interesting movie that comes out recently, I like to go and see it in the theater with my brother. Like we saw it on the movies that came out this year. Like we saw Superman, we saw Sinners, we saw The Naked Gun, the new Predator movie. I know a lot of it's like I don't know, a lot of movies aren't as good anymore, and like Hollywood's just so messed up, but like I just love, and like also the like going to a theater is just nowhere near as convenient anymore. But I don't know, man, something about like the experience of like going to a movie and like getting food and like watching movie with like maybe some friends, it's and like seeing the movie on the big screen. I don't know, man, there's something about that you just can't beat in my eyes. I just love the experience of going to a cinema. I just think it's super cool. And yeah, I also like watching shows with my parents. We like to watch like long shows that are silly. Yeah, I like watching movies and shows. And yeah, I also like playing games. I play some with my friends, but I also play some alone. Yeah. uh, Next, I like collecting physical media, like uh, I've mentioned before, but I collect figures. I own a ton of Godzilla figures and figures of other kind. I own quite a few plushies, and I also just like to collect like movies and games physically. And like whenever possible, I just like to uh, usually if possible, I like to get games on the PS5 rather than Steam because I just like owning the game physically. I know it's better for PC usually in most cases because I don't know, it runs better. You can mod it. There are a lot of Steam is a very good way to own games, but I just really like owning them physically. You know, it's the thing that EA said one time, like, "Oh, be comfortable not owning the games you have." But like, if I own it physically, then it's mine and they can't take it away. Except they technically can with all what was it, like Concord or I don't know. I think it's also just fun to collect games like especially old games, like collect them physically, like old PS3 games or old PS2 games, Wii games. Yeah. And watching VTubers. Yeah, I know. I said that already. I like watching VTubers. I'm not gonna lie. They're like the only thing I watch anymore. That's that's almost true. Like there are very rare situations where I'll watch like other stuff, like other content creators, but I'd say like 90 to 95% of what I watch on a daily basis is a VTuber. I don't have a problem. I can stop anytime I want. And sculpting and painting, old hobby. Yeah, this is an old hobby. I haven't really done this in a long time, but something I used to do a lot was like sculpt things out of clay and like make little figurines and paint them. And I don't know, I kind of stopped this because like once upon a time, a couple of years back, when we moved to a house, I moved into a room that had a lot of carpet, and I was kind of worried of like maybe if I tried painting, it would get on the carpet, and that was a concern of mine. So that's a pretty big reason why I stopped. And I don't know, I feel like I also just like lost motivation. That may have also been a reason why I stopped. But I kind of want to get back into it. And I think that if I decided to, it would make for a pretty fun stream. Or it'd make for a pretty interesting stream if I decided to do hand cams and sculpt things out of clay. And then once I did make one and like bake it, I could paint it. I think that would be pretty cool. I think that'd be fun. And I also have like other ideas for hand cam streams too, like unboxings for figures that I own. I own quite a few boxes of figures that I haven't opened yet because I thought it would make for a good hand cam stream. But I've just been like been driving myself crazy and like scratching like someone who is going through with Jaws. Like I know I want to open them so bad, but it would make for a good stream. But I need to open it. So yeah, I'm gonna do that too at some point. And that's the end of this paper. But I have another piece of paper. Anyway, that's all of this. Oop, we don't need that anymore. Alrighty. Now I'm going to show you my favorite movies. I have another piece of paper that has all my favorite movies on it. But before I do that, hold on, let me just get my tail in the way so you don't quite spoil. Okay, it's not perfect, but you're not fully able to see, and it's not fully spoiled, so that's good enough. Anyway, we're gonna move on to my favorite movies. Alright. So I'm not gonna lie, the first movie it's the only movie on this list that I would personally consider a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine. Like, I know this movie isn't the best, but I like it. And I'll explain why here in just a moment. But the first movie on my list, oh yeah, this isn't a top 10, by the way. This is like a top 12. I couldn't fit all of them into a 12, so into a 10. So this is the top 12. I have 12 favorite movies. Deal with it. Anyway, first movie on the list is Alien vs. Predator Requiem. I'm not gonna lie, this is like possibly my favorite Alien / Predator / Alien vs. Predator movie. And I know it's a really like frowned upon movie out of the series. It's like nobody's favorite, but it's my favorite, dang it. I love this movie so much. I think it's so underrated. Like, Wolf is such a cool character, okay? He carries that movie. He's like easily the coolest Predator we've seen in any of the movies. The Predalien is such a cool and unique, form to the Xenomorph that we've never seen before and since. And I also like the idea of like the Xenomorphs finally coming to and invading Earth, because I feel like after watching all of the previous Alien movies, that's what it was all leading to. It was leading to them eventually coming to Earth and just ruining everything, because that's kind of what the first movie of the Alien, it was them trying to get the single specimen back to Earth, and Ripley couldn't let that happen. And that was kind of what happened in the second one too, and in the third. And that kind of happened in the fourth, but not really, kind of. But then we got Alien vs. Predator Requiem, where they were finally here and they wreaked havoc, and it was awesome. There were so many cool kills in this movie, and Wolf just taking them all out, being a badass, like trying to clean up the mess. I just really like this movie. I think it's cool, and I really don't care. I don't like it. I love it. I know the human characters really aren't that good. I agree totally, but like, I don't know. The town seems lively enough to me for the, what's the word? I can't think of the word. I can't think of the word. Dang it. Oh, this is so cringe. Oh my god. Bro, I can't think of the word. I literally have it in my mind right now, but I can't think of it. Forget it. I was just gonna say something along the lines of like, the acting isn't great, the characters aren't great, but like the town seems like lively enough for me to believe it. This is basically what I was gonna say. Whatever. I'm gonna move on now. But yeah, that's one of my favorite movies. The next on my list is Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this movie. It's just a good freaking movie, and it's just really cool. Like everyone flying around in planes. We're going on a death-defying mission. It's just really cool. I wish I had nearly as much to say about this movie as I did the previous one, but I really don't. It's just a cool movie. I do recommend it. Very good movie. Very cool. 10 out of 10. Okay. Next movie is Treasure Planet. This is a classic. This is such a classic. An underrated gem, but maybe not quite underrated because people recently have been noticing its peakness and have giving it the credit it deserves, like as it so deserves. It's just such a good movie, man. Yeah, I miss when Disney was making movies like these, instead of like the I don't know. Yeah, they were definitely a lot of their movies were definitely better around the 2000s than they are now. But yeah, this one's very nostalgic for me. I love this movie. It was my childhood. And it's just a really good movie. I also don't have much to say about this one, but trust me, it's a really good movie, and I really like it. I'm gonna move on now to the next movie, Godzilla 2014. I'm not gonna lie, this is my favorite Godzilla movie out of them all. I know Godzilla -1 is like a masterpiece, super peak, and I totally agree with that, but personally, 2014 is just my favorite. It was my favorite ever since it came out, and it's just still my favorite. Like, it's a little bit of nostalgia, and also just a bit of like, I just really love like the universe that movie was setting up. Like it was just really cool, and and I wish this movie got more like recognition, and I really wish people like I don't know, weren't as mean to this movie. And like, I know it's not perfect, but like, I just think it's a lot better than people were giving it credit for. My take. I think 2014 is like the second best movie in the MonsterVerse, and it's my favorite Godzilla movie. I think the sound effects were like incredible. All the monster scenes were super good. I personally didn't have a problem with the fact that it didn't have as many monster scenes in it, because that just made every time they showed up feel like an event, like a natural disaster. And I really didn't think the characters were that bad. I thought they were pretty good. Like Rhodey, I thought was just a very realistic character. People are like, oh, bro has like barely any dialogue in the movie, but like, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of realistic in a way. Like, if you see a giant monster in front of you, you're not gonna be like, wow, that's quite the creature there. No, you're gonna be just like looking in awe, like, holy crap, what am I kind of mess am I in right now? But yeah, I'm gonna move on. 2014, a really good movie. I like it, and it's not as popular as a lot of the movies on this list, but I think it's really good. Next movie is Speed Racer, baby. Another childhood movie of mine. This movie is peak, dude. Like this is like easily one of the coolest like racing movies I've ever seen. And like this is another movie that I think like truly did not get like anywhere near as much recognition as it deserved back in the day. But like I've seen a little bit of people like recognizing it like somewhat recently. But it deserves more. This movie was like this this movie was so freaking cool. It was so cool. It was like, I don't know what else to say other than it was just a really cool movie. It like got me pumped every time they were like heading into a race. And like the family element too was very sweet. It's just a great movie. I don't know what to say. I don't know what you want from me. It's just peak. Anyway, I'm moving on to my next movie. Jurassic Park. Do I even need to say anything? Do I even need to explain myself here? Like, I'm a kid who was into dinosaurs back in the day. Of course Jurassic Park was going to be on this list. You knew it. You cannot say that you're surprised, because you knew it was going to be on here. It's just a masterpiece. And it's also like nostalgic. And literally anyone alive right now who was into dinosaurs as a kid saw this movie, and it was just great. I'm not gonna lie though, there was a little while where like when the Jurassic World, the one that came out in 2015, the first of the World trilogy came out, there was a point in time where that one was my favorite. And I still think that one is pretty good. But like, nah, man, nah. This one gotta be this one. This one's the best, truly. There's no way. You can't beat the original Jurassic Park. It's just a goated piece of like cinema. It's just I'm not even gonna say anything more about this. It's Jurassic Park. It's Jurassic freaking Park. Of course it was gonna be on this list. And in fact, if anything, it should be higher on this list. But there are just other movies that I like more. Anyway, the next movie on my list is Ultraman Rising. I kind of forgot to mention this when I was talking about Tokusatsu, but I don't just like Godzilla. I also really like Ultraman. Now, that didn't used to be the case. I did used to only like Godzilla and not care about anyone else. But recently, a game that I like to play that got a DLC character in the form of Godzilla also got a DLC character in the form of Ultraman. And like when that came out, I like played as Ultraman. I'm like, wow, I kind of like Ultraman. He's kind of cool. I never really looked at this character before, but now I'm looking at him, playing him. He's kind of cool. And then this movie came out. And like before this movie came out, I was like thinking about giving Ultraman a shot. Like the first time I really like considered giving Ultraman a shot was when the Netflix show came out with like its 3D animated art style. And like I was like thinking about it, but I never actually went and watched that one. Because like I don't know. I don't really personally just I don't really like the art style that movie has that much. As well as like the the anime trilogy of Godzilla, Pacific Rim Black. I don't know. For me, I don't really like it much when anime movies are 3D animated. I mean, there are some that look good, but I don't know. For me, it has to be 2D. 2D just looks so much better. But and then this movie came out, and it had like a style and animation style that looked similar to Into the Spider-Verse. And at that point, I was like, okay, fine, I'll watch it. Quick little fact about me: I freaking love Into the Spider-Verse. Not just the movie itself, but I also just love like, I also just love the art style so much. It's like easily my favorite art style right now. And like any movie that comes out right now, any like franchise that usually isn't animated, comes out in the form of like, comes out with a new animated movie that looks like Spider-Verse-fied. Like Predator just recently came out with one. Ninja Turtles. Actually, that's the one I didn't watch, but also Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Like any movie, any animated movie that comes out that like has Spider-Verse level like animation style, I instantly watch it. except for Ninja Turtles. That was the one I didn't watch, but other than that, I've pretty much seen them all. Like it's just such a good style, and immediately I'm like committed to watching the movie. And I watched this movie, and it's so good, dude. It like watching this movie like made me an Ultraman fan. Like I immediately got super invested in Ultraman. And like I love the baby monster too. It was just such a good movie. And like it totally got a lot of people into Ultraman, I bet. And like I am one of them. It is just a good movie. Sorry. Okay. Let's move on to my next list. My next item. My next item on the list. My next movie. My next favorite movie is Pacific Rim. This is like easily one of the coolest kaiju movies out there. Like, Guillermo del Toro did like such a good job of representing or recreating like the giant monster versus giant robot like archetype in movie form. Like all the robots look so realistic and move so realistically. All the sounds are so cool. The action is so good too, and the characters are pretty good. It's such a fun movie from beginning to end. Like it never loses my interest. It's just so good from beginning to end. And it's just such a good movie. Only they made a sequel. Yeah, that would have been great. We got a sequel to Pacific Rim. We got a sequel. That would have been the coolest shit ever. But nope. We just got this first movie. For those who don't know, it's a inside joke for Pacific Rim fans to be like, oh, if only there was a sequel. There was a sequel. It was bad. It wasn't good. We don't talk about the sequel. Yeah, I wish there was a sequel. Man, that would have been amazing. But no, there's only one, and it's very good. All right, now let me move on to the next one. Next one is GOTG Volume 3. I couldn't fit the whole title on here, but it's Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now, this is the only Marvel movie that's going to be on my list, because whenever I make these lists, I kind of like to only include one movie from each franchise to sort of represent the bunch, and also to make sure that the whole list isn't just Godzilla or Marvel. But yeah, this Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is like easily one of my favorites, if not my favorite. It's either Volume 3 or 2, honestly. Like, those two are like my top favorites. And like, especially in the time we're in now, where like Marvel movies just suck. Like, it was just so refreshing for this movie to come out and just be so good. James Gunn truly like still had it when it comes to like making movies when everyone else was like dropping the ball. Like, I still remember like a conversation I was having with like my sister when like before Thor Love and Thunder came out, because like we were like wondering how it was gonna go with like someone else directing the Guardians. And we were like, but you know, the guy he directed Thor Ragnarok. That movie was pretty good. I have faith in that guy. He's gonna make a good movie. We were wrong. We were wrong. That didn't age quite so well. I don't really know what happened, man. I don't know why so many of them just sucked after Endgame. But this wasn't one of them. This one was still really good. Like, Rocket's story in this movie was so compelling. I freaking I probably almost cried for him. It was very emotional, and like everyone else got like scenes to shine too, and it just felt like a very fitting end to the Guardians. Not that it's the end, but it felt like a pretty fitting end for this trilogy. And honestly, I really don't know how they're gonna do a fourth one, if they ever do. I don't know. James Gunn really made that trilogy. I don't know. And honestly, I don't really care, because I'm not really that into Marvel anymore. I watch like some of them coming out nowadays, but as for like watching every single installment like I used to, nah, I don't really care anymore. I'm over that. Okay, now let me move on to the next movie. I completely forgot to like even label these, like the numbers, or not label them, but like announce them as such. Like number 12, we have Alien vs. Predator Requiem. Number 11, Top Gun. 10, Treasure Planet. 9, Godzilla 2014. 8, Speed Racer. 7, Park. 6, Twin Rising. 5, Pacific Rim. 4, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And for 3, we have... I moved the wrong thing. The heck did I move? I don't even know. For 3, we have Megamind. This one is a good one. Yeah, you probably, if you've seen like tons of people like giving this movie praise like a couple years back, it is so deserved, man. This one's another childhood of mine. Megamind's like such a good movie, dude. I don't really have much to say. It's just such a good movie. It's very like not only is it like just a fun movie, but like I don't know, it's also just like really real in some cases. Like the fact that like uh spoiler, you know, I don't even want to say it. I won't even say it then because I just really recommend you watch this movie if you haven't. But I don't know, all the characters are written like really well, and it's just like a very good story, and it's also really fun and lighthearted and serious at the same time. I don't even know what I'm blabbering about. It's just a good movie. I love it. You should watch it if you haven't. But like Conspiracy, you probably have. If you haven't, you totally should. All right, number 2 is Kung Fu Panda. Yep, this one I can say almost the exact same thing I said about Megamind and say about this movie. DreamWorks were really cooking in like the late 2000s / early 10s. They were cooking so hard. It's not even funny. This movie is also peak Jack Black, like made Poe. Like he was perfect for the role. And like, yeah, I really don't have much to say. This movie is just actually genuinely incredible. Like, easily one of the best movies that DreamWorks have ever made. Yeah, this movie's so good. I love this movie. But there's one movie that I like more. And that's time for my number 1 pick. And this may surprise some people, maybe not. My number 1 favorite movie of all time is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Yep. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Now, I said before, like, the first Sonic movie was for me what I said, or was me for Sonic, what I said Ultraman was for Ultraman. Like, I was never really into Sonic until I watched the first movie. And then that movie got me into being a Sonic fan. And then from there on, I basically, after the first movie, I basically sped run becoming a Sonic fan, playing all the games, learning all the lore. To the point where, like, once the second movie came out, I basically was a hardcore Sonic fan by that time. And like, I got to enjoy every single Easter egg in that movie. And like, it's just such a good movie. Like, I love the characterization of Sonic. I love how they did Tails and Knuckles. They portrayed them so well. And I got to see so many cool things they added from the games, like like the Chaos Emeralds, the Master Emerald. Seeing Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails all team up at the end was so cool. And also, I just love the way that they're written. I forgot to move myself back. I just love the way that they're written in this movie. This movie is just so wholesome. It's so good. I love it. Every time I watch this movie, it makes me so happy because it's just so good and so wholesome. And like, I know a lot of people prefer the third movie, and this is a topic for another day. But I like the second one more. I think the second one's better. The second one is my favorite movie of the 3. It's also just my favorite movie, period, as you can see, with it being at the very top. Yep, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is my favorite movie, period. Well, that's my favorite movies. And now I'm gonna talk about my favorite games too, but I'll be right back. I need to go get some water. My voice is very dry from talking so much. I didn't think I'd have this much yap in me. All right, now I'll be right back. I'm back and I got water. Much better. Alright. It's time to go over all my favorite games. Oh boy. Hold on, let me try and get my tail in the correct position to hopefully cover enough so you don't immediately see. You can see some of it. Yeah, it's a bit of a given, but you can't see most of it, and that's what's important. All right, time to go on to my number 12 favorite game, and that one is Spore. Spore is a classic, man. The character customization is Spore is like one of the best I've seen in any game ever. Like, it's just so fun to like create wacky creatures and like customize them. And like also just the premise of the game is like such a good one. Like just the process of evolution, like becoming like being born as a cell and then growing into a creature that goes onto land, and then you grow smarter and become a tribe, and then you advance even further than that and become a civilization, and then you go to space and conquer the universe. It's just like such a good idea for a game, and it works so well. And like each stage is like pretty fun. Like the cell stage is like, it's not my favorite, but it's like it's very short and it's still super fun to the point where it's like barely even a hassle to get through. It's a pretty fun stage. The creature stage is by far the funnest stage in the game. Like going around as your creature with a pack of like however many you have, like 1 to 4 is 1 to 3 how many you get. Like either whether you're going solo or going with a pack and just like running around extincting other species, or making friends with them. But let's be real, most of us were aggressive in the game. It's so fun, dude. It is just a really fun game. And like there's 2 stages after that weren't as good, but they were still like pretty decent amount of fun. Like the tribal stage wasn't my favorite, but also if you can hear my chair squeaking, I'm sorry. I'm like walking around as I'm talking and also sitting down in my chair, like, moving quite a bit. It helps me focus on talking. Anyway, but yeah, the tribal stage is pretty fun as well. So is the civilization stage. That one's pretty good. And like, all sounds good and all, but like, the reason that's at the very bottom is for 2 reasons. 1, I just like other games more, and 2, the final stage. That's why the final stage. The space stage sucks. So bad. It is so boring, and it goes on for what feels like an eternity, to the point where like I have been playing Spore as a game for years now. I've played it so many times. You know what? Let me go in Steam right now. Let me see how much hours I have in Spore. Let me see. Where's Spore? Where's Spore? Where is it? There it is. I have like 68 hours in Spore on Steam. That when I first played this game at first, it was like on Origin, but I mostly played on Steam. But there was still quite a big chunk of my life where I played it on Origin before Steam. But on Steam alone, it has like almost 70 hours on it. So that at least puts an image in your head of how much I played this game. I have never beaten the space stage once. Just because of how god-awful boring it is and how long it is. I have never even come close to beating the space stage. Every time I reach it, I just lose interest so fast. And like, maybe I'll beat the game one day. Maybe that'd be a good endurance stream. see if I can beat the space stage. But God, it is my best example of of a game that was so fun. And don't get me wrong, I still love the game. I'm not trying to dug on it too bad. It still is a fun game. I mean, it's on the list for my top 10 favorite games. Like, but yeah, it is such a fun game. But then when you get to the final stage, you can't finish it. You just can't finish it. It's too bad. it's just too boring, too long. Yeah, I'll beat the game one day, and I still love the game. But the fact that you can't even beat the story really, really hurts it. And also the fact that there are so many other games here. Like, but yeah, that's Spore, my number 12. Time for my number 11. It's Team Fortress 2. That game is so fun. And like, I'm gonna go on a limb here. Like, Team Fortress 2, I promise, Team Fortress 2 is like the funniest game ever, period. There will never be a game out there that is funnier than TF2. And like, even when we're in a day nowadays where like I see so much stuff that just isn't funny. And like every movie nowadays that like tries to be funny, except for the new Naked Gun, literally every other movie that tries to do comedy just makes me cringe. But I can still come back to TF2, and after looking at it for like maybe 4 minutes, I'll just start like chuckling myself. It's all the characters are so silly, and like it's just such a funny game. And also like and also just it's not even just the game itself, it's also the media around the game. Like there are so many funny animations. Like I'm not even just talking about the Meet the Crew, also just the funny animations that people made, like like the one channel I remember watching a ton of. Let me go see what their name is real quick. Eltro 64 Russ. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but like they make a ton of like SFM animations, and like they're just so stupid and funny. I just love all the like early 2010s like TF2 animations that people would make. It's just peak humor. I'm sorry, it just is. It's just so funny. And the only reason, yeah, and all the characters are great and so enjoyable and silly. It's just such a fun game. The only reason I have it this low is because, to be completely honest, I don't actually play the game that much. Like the game, I love how funny the game is, and I love the characters, and I love the media that people make about the game, but I don't actually play the game that much. Like, yeah. But yes, I love this game. It's so silly. Moving on to my 10th favorite game, we have Skylander. We have Skylanders Spyro's Adventure. Yep, I was a Skylanders kid. Hardcore. I played all of the Skylanders games. Sorry, drinking. I played all the Skylanders games. I owned like I don't own anywhere near as many figures for it as I used to. Because I moved, and also I had to get rid of them because I just don't really play the game as much anymore. But like I owned hundreds of them. I kid you not. I owned 100 of them back then. But like I still have a box like in my closet of like just the essentials for them for the to play the games again, because they were really fun. I did really like the Toys to Life concept. Was such a like it was a very of its time thing. Like it's not really something that people discuss anymore. And I don't think that's unjustified. I do personally think that Toys to Life concept kind of ran its course, and like it's just not the most optimal way to play games, but it was still such a fun concept, and they were still really fun games. And yes, I just picked the first one as my favorite just because this is the one I recognize the most. The yeah, I just liked how you had to rebuild the core of light and go to each area of the element. I thought that was cool. I love the way the levels were themed. Another one that would probably be my favorite is Giants. The second one, I really liked the enemies in that one with the Archeans. They're cool, and also the Giants were a really cool addition to the cast to the crew, whatever you want to call it. But yes, I do really like Skylanders. As why is my number 10 on the list. Anyways, number 9. Number 9 on the list is Bakugan, Defenders of the Core. Yep, I was a Bakugan kid as well. I loved Bakugan back then. And this game was super cool. I never actually got to play this game as a kid. I would just watch YouTube videos of it until like 2019, maybe 2020, where I finally remembered that Bakugan was a thing, and I was like, oh yeah, I could like buy the game myself. And I played it for PS3, and it was so fun, man. I still had a blast playing that game, even though I was like 10 years older. Like the combat in that game is really, really fun. And like the dialogue is hilarious, honestly. And the dialogue is really funny. And it's like really bad acting, but it's so funny. And like the story isn't like anything special or anything super like revolutionary, but it's like just decent enough for you to like be interested and engaged. But yeah, I really like I really like Bakugan. I'm not really as much into Bakugan anymore because like I'm not gonna lie, that the physical game pretty much died. Like Bakugan came back, or Bakugan died in like 2011, I think. It came back in for a brief like resurgence in like 2019, and then maybe a couple years ago it like officially died again. And like it was a shame that they didn't get to keep the game going up for longer. And I do own some of them still, but like I don't know why I'm talking about the physical game. I mean, I'm talking about this virtual game, Bakugan Defenders of the Core. I don't know why I'm talking about the physical game. I don't know. I guess that's just why I haven't really been super into the Bakugan scene lately. But I still love this game, and yeah, I'll definitely. I'm gonna likely play all of these one day. I'm not sure what order I'll tackle them in, but I'll definitely play them all eventually. But yeah, I think this one would be a pretty fun one because of just how like I think the bad dialogue, the bad acting would be really funny. All right, I'm moving on to the next one. My next favorite game is, yep, Five Nights at Freddy's. I bet you saw the Freddy and you're like, yeah, I know exactly what this is. Yep, Five Nights at Freddy's. This game changed a lot about my life, I'm not gonna lie. Silly as that may sound. Like, I used to be super terrified of horror when I was a kid. Like, I didn't want to watch any of the scary movies. Not the funny scary movies, just scary movies. I'm saying that as a term. Like I was just super afraid of horror. I was a little wuss. And this game scared me too when it came out. But like this was like when I got a little bit older and wanted to get into horror, this was like the very first horror thing I really watched and enrolled. And what can I say? Five Nights at Freddy's was just a very unique and creative horror game, and its lore hooked us all in. And the characters are iconic. Excuse me. And this is probably a bit of a fun fact, a little silly fact, but like, not gonna lie, this game turned a lot of us into furries. I'm gonna be honest. It's true. This game did make a lot of us become furries. Yeah. A fun fact about me: I am a furry. I'm not as much of a furry as I used to be. I kind of milled out a little bit, but yes, I am a furry, and so are some of my friends. And yeah, it's mostly this game's fault. Yeah. But yeah, that's Five Nights at Freddy's. It was the very first horror game I ever got into, horror game series, and it's still my favorite one. All right, on the next one. Which one are we on? 10, 11, 12. What? Sorry. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Okay. My seventh favorite game, Gigabash. This game is so freaking underrated, dude. And also, I hinted at this game earlier. Remember earlier when I was like talking about Ultraman, and I was like, "Oh, I have this game. It's got a Godzilla DLC, and then it got an Ultraman DLC." That's this game. I was talking about this game. Yeah, this game is like really underrated, dude. It's really good and it's really fun. It's basically, to describe this game, it's like your typical, like, I keep describing it like a sort of Smash Bros, but like some of my friends are saying that's inaccurate. But I don't care. I'm gonna keep using it. It's like Smash. It's literally the Smash Bros for the Tokusatsu era, not era, but it's Tokusatsu Smash Bros. Basically, it's like a top-down fighter where you play as kaiju characters. A lot of the characters in the base game are pretty cool and are like clearly taking inspiration from old Tokusatsu like Ultraman and Godzilla. But not only that, but they literally have DLC for where you can play Godzilla in the game and also Ultraman and now Gamera. Gamera was just recently added. And like, I don't know, man. I think I all the time whenever I look online, I see people like crying and like whining, like, I want a new Godzilla game so bad, and it's like, bro, we have the best Godzilla game right here. I don't know. I think I think with how long we've went without a good Godzilla game, obviously my standards have like dropped a lot. Like, but like, I don't know. I really just think this is a fun game. I think people should really just give it a chance. It's just a fun game, and Godzilla's playable in it, and Ultraman and Gamera all in the same game, and it's like really fun and like controls super well. Like, what more could you ask for? for like a Godzilla game? Story, probably. Yeah, and it doesn't really have much of that, but I don't know. I just think, like, yeah, I would definitely love a new Godzilla game, but until we get that Godzilla game, I'm perfectly fine with this. I think this is perfectly fine until we get our next Godzilla game. All right, next is Shadow of the Colossus. Yup, this game is so good. I first discovered this game back when I used to watch Jacksepticeye, and he showed it off as his favorite game in the videos, and like it instantly entered my like top 10. I thought this game was so cool. I immediately loved how giant and like how giant the monsters felt. Like it really felt you were fighting a giant creature. And like it just felt so real. They felt and looked so big. And like the soundtrack is great. when we eventually get a new Godzilla game, if we ever do, I really hope that they take a bit of inspiration from this game, because like this is really the only giant monster game we have in terms of like the spectacle and immersiveness, when and like not playing as the creature, but like witnessing it from a human eye perspective. Like we really, in terms of like that aspect of giant monsters, this game is really all we have. But like it does it so perfectly. Like the feeling of fighting giant monsters, or in just witnessing giant creatures, this game like does perfectly. And it is also just like a very cool and unique game with a good story. I feel like I'm saying a lot of the same things, but like I don't know. I guess I just appreciate the story. I don't know. All right, next. What am I moving? Okay, I tried to move my tail, but I was moving something else. Next is Undertale. Remember when I said I was saying good story a lot? Yeah, well, I'm going to say it again. This game has a great story. Yeah, if you were on the internet in like 2015, 2016, you'd know this game is peak. Like, like this game is so unique. The characters are so incredibly written. The story is so like, the story's so good. This is truly just a perfect game. Like, and this is another one. It's funny that it's back to back, but this is another one that I like really loved watching Jacksepticeye play. I really watched Jacksepticeye a lot, but yeah, this game is easily top 5 best games of all time. This game is so good, and like I played it again recently, and I'm like, man, this game is still so good. Anyway, let me move on to my next game. After I remember where we are exactly. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Okay, next is 4. Number 4 game. Yeah, this is another one that the name, the full title just would not fit. But it's The Legend of Spyro Dawn of the Dragon. This is my favorite Spyro game. And I think it's kind of underrated. Like I never really got into Spyro with like the original PS1 trilogy. Like this was my first introduction to Spyro. And Honestly, for that, I think I can't really enjoy the other Spyro games as well because with how cool this game was, I like I look at the original PS2 trilogy and even the reimagined trilogy, and I just think it's really boring in comparison. Like I think you even played. No offense if people like it, I know, but like to me, I just couldn't get into the original trilogy after seeing this game. This game is like I think my brain is like turning into mesh. I could like hardly think of like anything left to say. I think I'm just like running my brain into the ground with like yapping about these games and movies. The game is pretty cool. The graphics were pretty cool when it came out. The Spyro actually had a character arc and a story. And Cinder was a cool character as well. The enemies were cool. Yeah. It was a pretty cool game. And yeah. That's all I have to say about it. I will definitely be looking forward to playing that one. Even though this one's a trilogy as well. This was the final part of like the Legend trilogy of the Spyro games. But I've never actually played or seen that much of the other two. I just I just got into this game, honestly. Like I remember I had one of the earlier games too, but I never actually played. I never got that far in it. And honestly, a part of me kind of is glad because that means that means it's gonna be completely fresh when I like play it for myself the first time, whenever that is, probably on stream. But yeah, this is my favorite Spyro game, and it's not close. I love this game. Yeah. Anyway, the next game. Wait a minute. And I lost track again. Okay, next one is 3. Third favorite game. Sonic. What? Hold on a second. Oh, my bad. There's not even 12 games in here. I only have 11. Oops, my bad. Okay, this is the second game. That's a little embarrassing. Hold on, is there more to this that I am covering up? No. Okay. I really did just put 11 games on here. Well, that's silly of me. Anyway, you know what? The real number 11 or the real number 12 probably Pokemon Black and White there. And I've already talked a bit about that, so I need to go over it again. So number 12, Black and White. Number 11, Spore. Number 10, Team Fortress 2. 9, Spyro. 8, Bakugan. 7, FNAF. 6, Gigabash. 5, Colossus. 4, Undertale. 3, Spyro. And number 2, Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Frontiers is my favorite Sonic game. I almost said Spyro game. Sonic Frontiers is my favorite Sonic game. To be fair, the very first Sonic game I actually ever played after watching the first movie was Sonic Forces. Yeah. It was free, okay? Don't judge me. But yeah, That's not to say that I've only played garbage before before Frontiers. I did also play the adventure games and Unleashed. So I played a handful of the good ones. It's not to like, justify or say like that all the games I played beforehand were bad. They were good too, except for Forces. But I just really liked Frontiers. It was so cool seeing them come back with a banger, dude. Like Frontiers was like such a good game. Like the open world was really cool. The combat, dude. The freaking combat in Sonic Frontiers is so addicting. And I just love it so much. I love fighting in Sonic Frontiers. It's honestly probably the most engaging combat I've ever played in a game, I think. And like fighting the bosses, don't even get me started about the freaking bosses, man. The bosses are easily the best part of the game. And going supersonic and fighting the Titans, oh dude, dude. Ah, it's like peak gaming. I'm gonna say that is peak gaming. And like also just like the way that like the characters are just being honestly like really like misrepresented at the time. Like a lot of the games were like had the characters written honestly pretty badly, and like they were just like they became like stereotypes, and they just were nowhere near as like all the arcs they were going through were basically just like completely obliterated. And like Sonic Forces is also like a good example. Like they're all just I don't know, all the characters like kind of sucked in Forces, especially Tails. But Frontiers really fixed that, and like all the characters were like written pretty well, and like freaking Tails especially, like they used how poorly represented he was in Forces to their advantage, to like have Tails go through like a really compelling arc in Frontiers that like really made up for it. And like yeah. This like like these are the kind of Sonic games I want going forward. Like give us really fun and engaging combat like in this game, like really cool bosses, and just like a pretty decently well written and or a pretty decently like story that takes itself seriously, like not too seriously, but like it doesn't treat itself like a joke like Forces kind of does. And characters that are actually written well and actually act like themselves. And that's a good Sonic game right there. Excuse me. And that was my second favorite game. Now, I'm not gonna lie, my number one may be a little bit hard for me to talk about. And I don't just mean that because I've been talking for like an hour and a half straight. I mean like it is a little bit of a sad case, because my number one favorite game is Little Big Planet 2. If you know, you know. If you were one of the people blessed to have played the Little Big Planet games, you know the grief that we are in right now. And if not, I'm very sorry, because you will unfortunately never be able to experience these games in their peak. So basically, for those who don't know, let me describe the Little Big Planet to you. It's like you play as a little sack boy. That's what the character's name is, Sack Boy. It's like a little like sock puppet character, and like the story is like it's whatever. Like you're in Craft World, and you uh, travel across Craft World, see arts and crafts characters, and there's an evil enemy, there's a bad guy, and you beat him. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The story was not what made these games amazing. What made these games amazing was the creative aspect. Like you had this thing the in the menu that you could access called the moon, and you could go into the moon. It's like your own little private level, and you could just make stuff in there. You could just make like anything in there within like a 2D perspective, and you could just upload your own level. You just make your own level and like publish it to like the community, and then you can go into the community and just play everybody's levels. And it was beautiful. I made a lot. I made like quite a bit of levels. My levels weren't perfect. They were all right, but like, dude, I grew up playing these games so much, and not only that, but like, not only have I just like played the games so much, and do I think I honestly like leveled up my creativity from this game, but genuinely, I met a lot of my friends from this game too. Like, this game had a feature called Dive In, where you could just join any random person's lobby, and like, I say that like it's a revolutionary thing. Like a lot of games nowadays probably don't have something similar. But genuinely, like most of my friends that I have now that I'm super close with, I met on this silly little game, like years and years ago, and we are still friends today. And damn, I really have this game to thank for knowing them, for having met them. Not this game in particular. I met two of them from this game, and some of them from the third one. And also, like, when it comes to the like picking which one I wanted to use, I kind of just used the second one, just because it's the first one that I've played out of them. It's the most nostalgic one to me. I like the story in it the best. I know the story is what makes these games so good, but the story in the second one's my favorite. And that's pretty much it. Like, if I had to choose which one like gave me the most creative tools, or gave me the most tools to like create at the cooler stuff, it'd be the third one. Excuse me. But yeah, the reason I didn't really touch about it much yet, but the reason it's such a tragedy, the Little Big Planet games, is because they're basically dead now. Like, remember what I said earlier about the community? Yeah, it's gone. You really can't access it anymore. The servers have been shut down, and there's no way to access the community, nor anyone's levels on it, nor upload any of your own. So, unfortunately, if you never played any of the Little Big Planet games, you will never be able to experience what made them so special. And if you have, then you're one of the lucky few. Man, this just got deep. I told you this game it's a special case for me. The Little Big Planet games mean so much to me, and it really is sad that they're gone, and Sony clearly has no interest in bringing them back. I mean, I guess there is hope. Some people always have hope. But honestly, I really don't have much hope. I really don't think they're going to make another one. And that's sad. But you know what? It is what it is. there will be other games like this. But yeah, that's my favorite game. Little Big Planet. Always has been, always will be, forever. And that's my top 10 favorite games. Man. I feel like I just went through a mark there. Talked about all my favorite games and movies. What do I do now? Well, I do have a game planned for here in a bit. But before I do that, I had an idea for something else I kind of want to do. And I thought of like, I was kind of thinking to myself, pondering before I set up this whole stream, like, what is something unique I could do on the stream? Like, anyone can play a game, anyone can, you know, I guess talk about themselves. I don't know. But I was thinking, like, what can I do that can, like, maybe impress people? I don't know. Maybe they're like, this is something about me that maybe not everyone else is like. There's something unique about me, maybe. I don't know. I am hyping it up a little bit, I guess. It's not really the most interesting thing ever, but like, I guess I just kind of wanted to. I decided to kind of talk about the frilled shark, the animal I decided to make my character based off of. I I like a lot of people I see online like aren't super interested in the ocean. So I kind of just wanted to talk about it because it's something I am really interested in and maybe share that interest with other people. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you some fun facts about the frilled shark in case you don't know. Or if you don't know, then hopefully these are stuff you already know. Or maybe not. I don't know. So that's what I'm going to do here. Let me go back into the full room. There we go. Make myself bigger. All right. I do have a wiki pulled up. I'm not just gonna just read it from the wiki. Most of the stuff I'm gonna talk about is stuff that I remember. But I'm mainly just looking at the wiki to just like give myself a slight refresher and also just to like just come up with parts of them to talk about. Because otherwise I probably would not remember everything. My memory is not the best. I probably wouldn't know what to start. I guess the first like interesting fact about them I can start talking about is their. You know what? Let's talk about their teeth. You see my teeth in here? Hold on, let me zoom in. I can't zoom in. Zoom in. Yeah, this. Look at my teeth. This is what my teeth look like. This is what a frilled shark's teeth looks like, kind of. Like, here, let me see if I can get an image. You know what, let me see if I could just get an image of, like, just a real frilled shark. Like, not this silly, cool little drawing that my friend drew. Let me get a real one on screen as well, just so you can get a nice look at it and sort of see what I'm talking about. Let me grab the snipping tool real quick. Actually, why don't I just save the image? Okay, okay, I saved it. Now let me get it on the screen. Ooh. Jump scare. Yep, this is what the frilled shark looks like. Yep. I was going to talk about its teeth. Let me also get a picture of its teeth, of its face. Oh, prepare for another jump scare. Which one? Oh, I think it's this one. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is what their teeth look like. This is what the actual frilled shark teeth look like. They're like like this. Frilled shark have like, oh god, it's so big I can't shrink it. So frilled shark have like 300 teeth in their mouth, and they all look like they all look like this. Like it looks like there's several rows of 3 of them with like a ton behind them, but those 3 spikes are actually 1 tooth. So it's just like 1 row of several of them, and then another row next to it. So I kind of wish I had a picture of just the tooth so I could show you, but I hope I'm explaining it in a good enough way for you to get my point across. Oh, this is a much better image. This one's better. Is it this one? There we go. Yep. Here's a bit of a closer look at like what the teeth look like. So yeah, it's like each tooth is like the three spikes. Yes, very very descriptive. But yeah, they do have very unique teeth for sharks. And the reason that their teeth are like this is because unlike regular normal sharks that you would imagine, which are kind of built to just eat anything really that could fit in their mouth, frilled sharks tend to eat like squid, like soft body creatures. And they're all pointed inwards to make it impossible for them to escape once they get in their mouths. So they're pretty good at eating creatures with soft bodies, but aren't really made to eat creatures with like hard shells like turtles or crustaceans. What am I moving? I don't know what I'm moving here. Oh, I'm moving this. Okay, let me get this. Yeah, so that's what the teeth of the frilled shark looks like. And that's why they look like that. What are some other things I can talk about? Oh yeah, they also have the longest. I just learned this today actually from looking at the Wikipedia, but a gestation period. I didn't know what that meant, but apparently that stands for, or gestation period is basically how long it takes for an animal to be born. I didn't know it was called gestation period, but yeah, the frilled shark has the longest gestation period of any vertebrate at like 3.5 years, which is pretty interesting. And like, just one mother frilled shark can birth like 6 to 12 babies, and once they're born, they're all like, they can all grow up to be like 20 something inches long, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. Cause like the biggest female we've ever seen was like 2 meters or 6.6 feet. Let me like look at this. Let me go into Paint real quick. MS Paint. Like let's see here. Sorry, I'm like painting lines on MS Paint right now to sort of give the idea. Crop. Save as. Okay, now let me bring it in MS Paint. There we go. So like the babies can grow up to like 20 inches, and like the biggest like female can get like 6.6 feet. That's basically like this up here for perspective. If my math isn't totally wrong, which it could be, but I'm pretty sure I did it right. But yeah, that's kind of that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, that's something. That's wild, isn't it? Also, I kind of hinted at this earlier, or I didn't hint at it. I just said it. I mean, but like, usually frilled shark live at depths of 1,200 meters, or like 3,900 feet, and like, once, but once it turns night, they usually can come up like a lot higher up, and usually roam at like depths from like 50 meters below sea level. There's their side. That's another one I can talk about. There, like the biggest female ever recorded was like 6.6 feet, but like typically the females are like 1.5 meters, like 4 feet, something around there, and the males are like much smaller at like 1 meter. Oh yeah, another thing I can mention there. They're nicknamed the living fossil because they are a very old species of shark. That's like approximately like 80 million years old. And yeah, and they're also classified as least concern, and they're which that basically means they're not like endangered or anything, which is it's just good. You love to see it. I always hate seeing it when like creatures are like classified as endangered. It's very sad, but I'm glad these guys are doing fine. These guys have not like frilled shark have not had like we have very few instances where we've seen them. Like there's really a lot we don't know about them because we only have so many encounters with them. Oh yeah, and another thing I just remembered, and this is like another thing that I learned today, while just browsing, looking at frilled shark facts and stuff, was this species here, this is like the genus, that freaking word I can't pronounce, but I'll just call it clammy for short. There are two different species of clammy. Like this one here is, let me see if I can look back at it. Yes. There are only two species of clammy. There's one called the C. I'm gonna try and pronounce this the best I can. Anguius, C. anguius, and that's the one that like we're more familiar with. That's this one that you're seeing on the screen. That's what I am. But there is also a different species, another species called C. africana, also known as the South African frilled shark, which, as the name hints, it can be found around South Africa. But I guess that's another thing I should mention. The main frilled shark that we all are familiar with can be found in like several like places all over the world. Like it's been found off the coast of California. Like it's been found near Florida, New York. Here, I'll just bring up the map. Yeah, they show it. They show an image of where it's found. Is it? Crap! I don't know what I named it. Is it this one? No, it's not that one. Crap! I lost it. I need to find it. Oh, here it is. There. Like, these are all the places that we've apparently seen sightings of the frilled shark around the world. So, like, I honestly thought, because they are very common in Japan apparently, so I kind of thought at first they were like exclusive to Japan, but they aren't. They're found like several different places around the world. Some found around the U.S., Brazil, Europe, and Australia. I think it's like, what's this? What am I grabbing here? I don't know what this is. I'm just gonna delete it. I think that's main. think that's the main facts I know about. Let's see here. I don't think so. No, I don't really remember any other ones. So that's all I know about them, or at least that I can remember. But I'm always hoping to learn new things about them, and also just new things about any animal, really, because again, I just think they're so cool, and I think and I think they're just really interesting. I think that's about all I wanted to do for this first stream. I guess another thing I'm gonna say briefly before I leave is like I don't know. The main reason I decided I wanted to try streaming is I don't know. I almost feel like lately in my life I've just felt very bored. Like I'm just playing a lot of the same games, and like I don't know. I don't really feel fulfilled, and so I don't know. I just thought like trying something new like this would be fun. And not to mention, one of the VTubers I watch a lot of them, or one of them got like a question, like if they should start streaming, and then she said like, yeah, you should totally try it. And I don't know, that kind of made me think of trying it. So that's what I did. I'm trying it now, and I don't regret it. I think is I don't know. I was really nervous near the beginning of this. I don't know. I'm interested to see if this goes anywhere. If it doesn't end up going anywhere, then expect me to stop uploading one day. But if regardless if I do keep streaming or if I don't, if you are one of the people who watched any of my this stream or any of them and gave me a chance, then I sincerely thank you for allowing me to give me a chance and allow me to take up some of your time. And yeah, sorry, I just wanted to get a little mushy before I leave. But before I do leave, I'm going to tell you what my next stream will be. My next stream, I don't know when I'm going to do. I might actually just do it here in just a moment, like maybe an hour or so after this one. But my next stream, I don't think I have it here. I need to re-add the image. I think I added it here. I did. All right, we're going back to the desk. All right, so the first game I'm going to be playing live on stream is going to be Sonic Rumble, and that's a mobile game. It's literally just Fall Guys but Sonic. And before some people were like, that sounds like a lame game to start with. You're the ocean base. Why are you playing that game first? Or wow, you're starting with a mobile game. I don't know. I feel like if like a couple years ago me heard that I was playing a mobile game for my first game, I'd think like, wow, that's cool. But listen, I have a very, very justified reason, okay? They're doing a collab with Godzilla, okay? Sonic and Godzilla are in the same game. My two favorite things are in the same game. So like Yeah, I have to. I literally have to play it. I have to. I have to play it. And like I've played a little bit of it already, but I will stream it. I will. Yeah, I'm gonna stream this game here in like a little bit. I'm going to be playing Sonic Rumble, the the new Godzilla level they added, and the Godzilla characters. I bought them all. I bought them all. I did. Yeah. It just they came out today and I already bought them all. Yeah. Yeah. This is how much I love Godzilla. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this stream, I think. I have a. All right. I have like a little note that I wrote down for like an intro I want to do at the end of all these streams. All right. Hope that's all for this time. Make sure to get some water in your system. Be well fed. And I hope the rest of your day goes swimmingly. Yup. Yup, that's it. Yup, alright. Alright, I'm gonna log off now. Goodbye to those who watched my first stream. Thank you, and I hope you weren't too bored. Alright, goodbye, everybody. Oh, this is wrong. This is the wrong one. Sorry, my bad. All right, this is the right one. Okay, I'll see you later. Goodbye, everybody. See you later.